What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new to the channel too and want to hit the subscribe button, that would help me out immensely. Before I go dark again, being so busy with my businesses and work, I want to put out a nice update video on what's going on with the RB25 Neo and also what has happened to my JZX100 Mark II. In the last video, you would have saw that I finally picked up the semi-built RB25 Neo from Albert, who took great care of me. So if you are in the Tucson, Phoenix area, be sure to hit up Albert for all of your motor parts and or assembly needs. He will take phenomenal care of you, I promise. We got the hot side and cold side on in the last video. On my downtime, I went ahead and installed the accessories. We got the power steering pump on, nice and clean and reassembled. Got the LS1 alternator back on with the LS1 conversion kit using PRP and Clockwork Customs, but PRP does make a single kit and it's definitely worth the upgrade. I believe stock is like 60 or 80 amps and this OEM LS1 alternator produces a whopping 140 amps. I've been spending the last 3 to 5 days finding the accommodating belts since I ordered OEM RB25 Neo belts. They didn't fit because I forgot. The Race Series harmonic balancer underdrives the power steering system as well as the water pump and alternator system. So I finally got the correct belt, one with a Bondo 4PK 875 millimeter. In terms of the power steering, this is like my third belt I bought. This is a 925 millimeter belt, and as you can see, it does not fit. Tomorrow I do have a 915 millimeter belt on its way, so hopefully that is the right belt, and if it is, I will update you guys accordingly. Also, on my free time, I went ahead and reclocked the turbo to how it needs to be clocked and then clocked it how I would like it to be ran once the motor is solidified in the engine bay. So we have the oil inlines on top. We've got the oil drain on the bottom, of course, 0 to 15 degrees, no more. We got coolant port cold, coolant port hot on the sides, which I will route these nicely. I went ahead and mocked up the TurboSmart Hypergate 5 external wastegate. The only problem with this wastegate being so big is it interferes with the turbo drain fitting here. But luckily enough, Albert told me that I need to run a 3/4 to 45 degree tan fitting to a 45 degree 10AN line, which again will route nicely to our drain to clear this Hypergate, but unfortunately the fitting I ordered is on back order from Vibrant, so hopefully not too long. And then as you can see, we have some turbo lines on. The oil line is permanent, solidified. In terms of this coolant line, it's just for mock-up purposes. I did go ahead and order almost $800 worth of fittings and lines from Deechworks, which should be coming in, I would say, the next 3 to 5 days, so we can plug up and finalize the AN line situation. Nice 10AN 45 degree fitting to this 10AN straight fitting for the oil head drain, and again have the accommodating lines on their way. This is going to be sweet, guys. I cannot wait. And then from the turbo to this Boostox heater hose elite kit, I will be running this 6AN 90 for the coolant hot port. And then I got the appropriate fittings ordered for the Tarks oil plate and my Improv Racing remote oil head filter or drain or oil block. It goes like right here. And then we have the tough mounts, polyurethane mounts on the RB25 Neo. I realized if I want to run these, all I need to do is cut off this nipple and they will fit accordingly. And then we have some other nits and bits on order. I honestly forgot, but it's coming along very nicely. All right, I gotta hurry this up in the garage because it's hot as hell. But we have some major actual Skyline updates, which I'm incredibly stoked to share with you guys. So like I mentioned, previous videos, we're going to get the engine bay painted, and we have that scheduled for drop off July 1st, which I'm incredibly stoked for. Essentially, I wanted to do like glitter black, all the fuckboy specs, you know, but I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and paint match the, I don't even know what color code this is honestly, but it shimmers, it looks good. And my buddy John, who painted the exterior, will be painting the engine bay. So essentially all I have to do is remove the windshield, wiper motor, the brake booster. Everything you see has to be removed besides the steering rack here. And then of course headlights and all the additional wiring. So I'm incredibly stoked on that. He said he can knock it out in about a week for me. And once the engine bay is painted and solidified, I'm gonna go ahead and of course polish it, cut and buff it, ceramic coat it, and then the motor will be ready for drop-in. And then once the motor and transmission is solidified in the Skyline, we do have an appointment August 8th to GSK Fabrication to do the intercooler, intake piping. He's gonna be building me a custom downpipe, custom wastegate dump pipe. I was thinking about recircuiting it in the, or rerouting it, you know what I'm trying to say, back into the exhaust, but a lot of people told me just to dump it, and I've always wanted to have a nice RB wastegate dump too, so that's gonna be sweet. Again, that's August 10th. That should also take about a week, maybe a week and a half. Closer to August, the man, Devin, is going to be ordering all the parts. I just sent him all the measurements for the turbo, the wastegate, intercooler piping. And then we are going to still utilize the, where's it at? The Tomy exhaust. We're going to be going catless, but I will be using the flange from the Berks Technology high flow cat to adapt the dump pipe to the Tomy Extreme cat pipe, since it is going from stainless steel to titanium. I'm not too sure if he does any titanium work. And for this setup, we are going with the ultimate setup. We are going to be doing a full V-band setup, or at least as many V-bands, but as less V-bands as possible. Again, just don't want any leaks, and I want this to be the first and last time I swap any kind of motor into my R32 Nissan Skyline. So I'm incredibly stoked on that. And then once the fabrication work is done, I'm going to do the wiring harness and then hit up Albert again to drop off the Skyline to him, for him to triple check my work, make sure my fueling is good, make sure all my plumbing is good, and then have him wire up the additional wires that I didn't put into my wiring specialties wiring harness, such as the trigger kit and the e-throttle kit. And from there on, guys, put a base map on it, do the engine break-in period, and once everything is solidified, we'll go ahead and do a dyno day, which I am incredibly stoked. We're gonna run it on pump, and then once pump is tuned, we're gonna try it on E. And honestly, I'm really hoping for like 550, 600 horsepower. That should be extremely achievable and very reliable on the current setup that I have now. And now some updates for my JZX100 Mark II Tour V. I promise you, I did not forget about this car. My full focus has been on the Skyline, and I told myself once I'm done with the Skyline, I will hop right back into the Mark II, but business has been phenomenal. So thank you everybody for the continued love and support via social media and or my businesses I run outside of my main job. But anyways, got some goodies, some really nice goodies in the making for the Mark II. And if you made it this far at this point in time, at this like exact time I'm filming, I'm currently bidding on some X100 Ganadors. Shout out Joan here. The other day I went ahead and put an order in with my buddy Jacob at Shock the Mob for a BN Sports Type 2 kit. So front bumper, side skirts, rear bumper, and also the BN Sports front guards. Just gonna go 20 millimeters from stock. Also have some nice fitment, and honestly, I may take out a little bit of camber. Also this is really bothering me too, but I will hold on to these just in case. I'm currently messaging an individual about a full JZX110 R154 manual swap. I'll be buying brand new in Japan, just needing him to get a full quote so I can send him the money. And then the plans for that are just drive it with the Ganadors, drive it kitted, drive it with the R154, have my fun in it while it is manual. And then honestly, early next year or the end of this year, if I reached peak enjoyment out of it, that's when I'll go ahead and pull the 1J with the trans. We'll refreshen up the 1J like we did the RB25 Neo. I'll clean the bay up, and with everything out, I'm going to fully respray the Mark II as a full shell, or at least my buddy John will. So that way we can paint the engine bay and the exterior at the same time. And again, the color I'm going for is like that nice metallic red. I believe the Mazda CX-5s have it. It's just a color I deeply fell in love with. And we'll do that nice metallic red with a lot of gold pearlescence in it. Or maybe we'll switch it up. But my cheat code is match the lug nuts with the exterior of the car while running the white wheels. It's just my cheat code. It's my flavor, it's my style. But let me know what you guys think about that. And also too, before I close out the video, I am debating if I should pull the trigger or not and order new calipers front and rear. I'm currently looking at some 326 power 4-pots. I was gonna say 6-pot, but I think 6-pot might be a little overkill. But I'm thinking of the 326 power 4-pot with a blue caliper, purple lettering, and then with a very big rotor. But let me know what you guys think. Again, I don't think I need it, but if I'm already this invested in the Skyline, I might as well full send it. Oh yeah, then also I do need to buy new coilovers for the Skyline since these are the original KTS Type 2. They're decent, they're nice, but we need to get the Skyline as modern as possible. But other than that, everybody, that is all I have for you in this video. I hate just making update videos for you guys. I want my content to be more interesting, or at least I want to be doing more with my cars opposed to just giving you guys updates and then doing little bits and pieces here and there. But running the main job and then running 3 small businesses takes up a lot of my time. But I promise you, once we have the Skyline up and running and tuned, we're going to go to a drift event and we're just going to have more POV content, more cars and coffee content, and overall we're just going to have a super good time. And then right now I need to go to RHT Japan and order some more parts. I forgot I need to order a twin disc clutch like as soon as possible, some other transmission gears, some sensors, and then I do need to run or buy a universal external blow-off valve. So if you guys have any recommendations, leave them in the comments below. But again, thank you so much everybody for the continued love and support. And if you're new to the channel too, want to hit the subscribe button, that'd be awesome. And remember, aim high, drive low. We'll catch you next video. Take care.